Welcome to this heartfelt divine exchange. Today, we are joined by Philippa Kingsley, an extraordinary healer, animal communicator, and certified vortex healing divine energy practitioner. Philippa's work focuses on helping pets and their owners overcome trauma, behavior change challenges, and most profoundly, the grief that comes with losing a beloved animal companion. Through her unique approach, Philippa connects with animals on a deep spiritual level, addressing the root causes and emotional and physical issues, while healing and transformation for all involved. Her compassionate work also extends to guiding individuals through the pain of pet loss, offering emotional support and healing tools for navigating this profound sorrow. As author of Rising Above Grief for People and Pets, Philippa shares her insights on overcoming the heartache of loss and rediscovering the beauty of love and connection that transcends the physical realm. I met her actually at the Mind, Body and Spirit Fair 3 years ago, and she said to me, "Oh, I can see a white wolf with you over your shoulder." And 3 years ago, I had recently lost a beautiful white collie. Don't know if you can see, that's Marnie. And she'd seen him. And that's how we made friends. And she's been in my life ever since, on and off. She has been with me to treat Arthur, who's a beautiful rescue from Cyprus, who I had at the end of his life. And she helped me and him, especially with the trauma of his body through starvation and things. So he had a good last few months. She's people like Philippa, not everyone knows that there are these wonderful angels in life that can help both the pet and the owner. Obviously, my focus has always been on the pet and looking after them. But today, knowing that I'm going to be speaking to her, I feel in safe hands that she might help me through the shock of it all. And I'm still frozen in disbelief at how my young puppy left the planet. It was a cancerous tumor on the spine. I'm not sharing her picture today just because I'm not ready. I want to keep her in my heart and have some more time with her. So I really look forward to this conversation and to see where it leads us. And I hope that anyone out there who has suffered the loss of a pet, just know that they came here for us. They came here to be our friends, our saviors. You never rescue a rescue dog. They rescue you right back. And, I was blessed that I had Summer. My sons adored her. We were all with her at the end, at her passing. And I will be ever grateful, ever, ever grateful for what she gave me in her short life. So without further ado, let's speak to Philippa and really celebrate the lives of our sacred companions. And if you're out there thinking, I don't know, I was thinking of getting a dog or a cat or don't hesitate if you can offer a rescue a home, because they will, as I say, rescue you right back and give you so much more than you can ever give them. Let's find Philippa. Well, here we are at the Divine Exchange, and we've already started, and we haven't started. And I'm so excited because I'm with Philippa Kingsley. Hello.
Hello.
And I'm so pleased that you've got me smiling and laughing already, because I know that the friendship that you and I have magically found through pets, my pets, has been very transformative for me, especially knowing that you bring such healing and relief to, like we met over Arthur, really.
Right.
My beautiful rescue from Cyprus, who was at the end of his life. And that's when I got him. And I had to act as his hospice, didn't I?
Yep.
And then
Right.
the right people come in at the right time. And you met me at the Mind, Body and Spirit Fair in London, at Olympia, at Easter. I just think all of this is relevant.
All divine timing.
Divine timing. And
Divine timing.
you said to me, "Oh, I can see a white wolf or something," and I just wanted to remind you and not to forget our lovely Marnie, who you never
Right.
met in
Right.
person.
I remember the picture though.
Yes,
I
there's
remember
him
the
on.
picture. You showed me the picture. You shared
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
and he was the white wolf. He was my white collie.
Right.
And that gave me such strength. In fact, I'm wearing the earrings today that I bought at the Mind, Body, and Spirit Fair. It's a wolf. Do you see? Howling at the
I
moon.
can see. Well,
Look, everything, we surround ourselves with, well, I do, with things that mean something to us. And in fact, I just want to share this as well. The poet, is it Mary Angelou? She came up on my Instagram feed today and she was saying, whenever I go on stage, I bring all the people with me. And for me, that was a little clue to today. And I've set out as many of the pictures I've got behind me with my angel of all of the pets that have trodden the path with me along the way. Enough about me. Philippa Kingsley, what am I doing? Listen, just we're talking grief. However, we're talking healing.
we're talking love. We're talking love and healing, but it comes from love. Everything comes from love. That's what
Mic,
we're talking.
mic drop. I love it. Well, without further ado, I'd like to ask you, what would you like to share with us today? Because vortex healing is something that I hadn't come across until I met you.
Right. I'd like to share a little bit about that and basically what I do and how I incorporate everything into who I am at this stage. And it's a growth, as I say, everyone, we move, we grow, we come into who we're meant to be, and we blend into who we're meant to be at different times. And we awaken to true self, true energy of yourself, who you really are, not the outside image. So basically, through vortex healing, it's not new agey, it's been around for 6,000 years. I discovered it I've been a vortex healing practitioner for over 20 years, many moons, many moons.
Honeymoons.
And it changed my life for me. And through that, it works with people, obviously. And also, but I knew I needed to connect it with pets because it basically works at the mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and karmic level. And it works at the root cause of people's issues, not the dramas of he said this, she said that, da 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 da, which we all have. It's basically works at the root cause. And most people's root cause is either fear of change or moving forward, however that defines. Issues of self-worth. Do I love myself? Do I like myself? Do I deserve? Am I good enough? Issues of forgiveness. Because in life, you have to forgive yourself first before you can forgive anyone else or anything else. You know, we are attached to forgiveness. What somebody did to us, we're attached to that. It's the attachment. So basically, you walk around like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, or you're walking around with a ball and chain. But I realized it took me a long time as well. You can cut cords and do all this stuff, which we've all been there, seen it, done it. Nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't get to the root. And it took me a long, long time for myself personally, because I'm human as well.
An
Human too.
angel, a human angel.
And so basically, it works at the root cause of everything. You have to forgive yourself first. It doesn't mean to say that you condone what that other person's done because they're not thinking about it. You're the only person that's thinking about it. And we're attached to that. So it doesn't, and life is a learning lesson, which is, things that happen to us are for learning. That's how it is. But if something's happened, obviously, that's pretty traumatic as a child, or what, not for me, I'm just talking generally now. Trauma, you think, well, why do things happen to people? Different things at different times, different stages. You have to forgive yourself first. The other thing I would say with vortex healing that is also very different, it's more than just another healing modality. It's a path to awakening. You can say, what's awakening? Pure divine love. It's as simple as that. Pure divine love. And that's the pure essence of vortex healing. So there are various different protocols and different things that I use and that I do. It's not just balancing chakras. It's deep, deep work. Works in all the energy fields, obviously. It's very deep, deep work. And it changed my life for me. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for vortex healing. And it worked at a root cause of various family issues that I had a long time ago. So I didn't think in a million years I'd be doing this. But by the same token, we're shown different paths, different gifts. And as human beings, we have free will. You can go this way or this way. So it's yin or yang, whichever way you want to go. But basically, more than that, everything in life is divine timing, which is what I'm always talking about. Divine timing. There's no coincidence. People say, oh, what a coincidence. I go, no, divine timing. It's as simple as that. And
Mm.
people that know me know that because I'm always talking about divine timing, same as how we met. Everything was divine timing and was set up from the higher realms of being and from Arthur and from divinity, basically, and
Mm.
from your other dog as well. Got the name, sorry, a moment. So anyway, through that, I work with vortex healing with animals and animal communication. I'm an animal communicator and or animal whisperer, whichever words you want to use. It doesn't matter what the words are. And I use that in conjunction with animal communication and vortex healing. So that's what I do. Because when you want to ask me something, Karen, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I wanted to understand how, and did animals come first and then there was vortex healing that came together, or did it come through vortex healing to understand that your gift was with animals?
It's very interesting, that question, actually, because it was actually, no, it came at a, they're actually parallel, but it worked out in a parallel universe, but it worked out at a parallel time, but it played out in a different way. I was living in America, living in the States at that time in Atlanta, and I had two dogs, English Cocker Spaniels, Vogie and Cosmo, my gorgeous babies,
Yeah.
pure unconditional love, as we know. And so they were there, and that sort of awakened everything in me. But I knew my own journey for myself. I had to realize I had to move forward with a lot of different issues and different things. So it was vortex healing came into my life through a friend of mine in the UK. She did some vortex healing on me. And I just knew, and I was guided to literally take vortex healing courses. But in the meantime, I had the parallel of the dogs, Vogie and Cosmo. But I wasn't thinking of anything like that at that time. You know, things unfold again, unfold is the word, within divine timing.
Mhm.
So that is what happened. So I started studying vortex healing in the States. It's taught worldwide anyway. It's taught in the UK, it's taught in the Netherlands, and it's taught, yeah, in the States, obviously. It's been around, as I say, for 6,000 years. It's not new agey. And it changed my life for me. It changed everything for me. I wasn't looking for it. It's just a process. You know, when you just trust and you let go and you surrender on anything in life, things change and shift. It's when we are so attached to how things should be or how we think things should be or how things have been. And it's like, and it doesn't work it doesn't work like that. You have to go with a flow.
Mm.
Everything has to unfold literally within divine timing. And as I say, as human beings, I say again, we have a choice. You can go this way or this way. So I wasn't planning for this at all, far from it. Um, so basically, it changed my life for me. And I then, after I lost my dogs, after they passed away, which was traumatic, to say the least, um, I realized
Did they both go at a similar time?
no, one was in 2004 and the other was in the same year as my father, which was 2009. So the
Wow.
whole process of the grieving process was pretty traumatic.
And linked.
Linked, yeah. And
Linked.
then especially with my father the same year with, 2009, as I say. And through all of that, I wrote the book, Rising Above Grief for People and Pets, which I actually wrote in 2011, published it in 2012.
Mhm.
So, which was all channeled through me. It was to help other people. It was my story and my journey of my dogs to help to show about unconditional love and also about other situations with other dogs, other animals as well. There's a story of a frog in there. There's a lot of different beautiful stories in there. And as I say, it helps people. It's available on Amazon.
Yeah. Well, I'm very grateful you've given
Yeah,
me a copy I've just moved house and not everything's out packing boxes yet.
right,
It
right.
hasn't made
So
it.
that one,
But
yeah.
I had it beside my bed and it was just such a lovely thing after I'd met you to have it beside my bed. I didn't realize that I would have to need to read it so
Yeah.
soon in my life after meeting you. So that is something I will do. Um, yeah, I just wanted to I want to just go back and go sideways. You mentioned, divine timing and the flow of things and the shoulds, because I don't believe in the word should at all. It's like you're on the wrong track if you say should. It's like
Exactly.
there's no should in life. Get it.
100%. Yeah.
Um, and also just marrying that with you said this is not new agey, it's been around for 6,000 years. I would just ask you your opinion on, I feel that yes, New Age sort of did get a bit of a bad press, as it were, or people assumed they knew what it meant. However, without saying New Age, we are in a new time.
That's a whole
This
different ball.
time,
Yeah.
right now,
Oh, yeah.
is a new age.
Absolutely. We're in the
And
process of it.
yeah, and we have to be working in a different way. We have to be feeling it, flowing with it. And as you say, that big word, I had such a problem with it a long time ago, which is surrender. It's like, oh, that's a bit much. But it is the way to go. Trust,
Trust. There's three words exactly. Trust. Trust in the process of life as it unfolds.
right?
Surrender. People think surrender, I'm giving up. Surrender is not. It's like the equivalent of what I call a big sigh. It's like letting it go. I surrender. It's that. It's as simple as that. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible for people without being like big words and attached to words and whatever the words are.
Mm.
And then what was the other word we said? There was trust. There was another one.
Trust, flow, flow.
No,
I got that word from you.
unfold. Yeah,
That sort
unfold.
of,
Yeah, to
well, it is
unfold.
like unfolding
It's
because,
unfolding. Things have to unfold in life. It's like a story. It's like our story of who we really are. And it's as simple as that. It's awakening to love. I know what I wanted to share. That's what it was to do with, you mentioned before. It's heart. Everybody has to come from the heart.
mm,
There's the physical heart, and then there's what I call the spiritual heart, which is the center of you, the essence of who you are. Instead of being mental mind, which is everybody's been mental mind and ego and mindset and, you know, I, me, just I, which is ego. It's basically you have to come from the heart
mm,
and you have to go with your intuition. Animals have intuition. That I call it's like I say, your inner doggy instinct. You have to have your inner, as I say in the States, your inner doggy instinct. Your inner doggy instinct, basically, because animals know when they meet somebody, they just know intuitively who's right, who's wrong, not right or wrong, those are the wrong words, who's a good person, who isn't, what feels right. And you can always judge how somebody is looking at the reactions of your beloved cat or dog or whatever, or horse or whatever, whatever. And that's because animals just know they do it. They don't have all the up here, the me, mind, ego, and the mental mind stuff that humans have. They come
so
from here.
yeah, I totally get that. In a way, I'm getting a new, instead of I'm calling them furry angels, I'm feeling like they're sort of master teachers for us,
Yeah,
and I have said actually in the introduction, I mentioned that, when I look into the eye of literally into the eye of my pony, who you also met, Margot,
yeah,
or Freya, or Lovely Summer, any of them, Luna. Oh, I could go
yeah.
on. But there's a moment, and you actually can see yourself. You can actually experience that sacred bond. And, I know it is that sacred bond. And I wish we could experience that more. Well, I do with people, people to people, that it's not just something that you can get from an animal, or not get from an animal, but they just hold your reflection so peacefully and calmly that you see yourself right back. And as you say as well, they're a great barometer for other people, because, quite often if somebody comes in the house or if we're out, you see them step back and look. It's like,
And
okay, not everyone's for everyone,
that's right.
you know?
Right. No, 100%.
Yeah, it's
Animals
reading them.
always, animals are the truth. And it's like, how do we attach to people? The point is now it's a question of going with your intuition. We all, human beings, we all have intuition,
Yep.
everybody, but it's whether we listen to that intuition. We sometimes go with what I call the resume of like, oh, someone's all, so wonderful, but it's not. Don't go with that. Go with your intuition, because sometimes you can meet someone and there's something about them that doesn't feel right. You may not know why. Go with your intuition. It will be shown to you later, or otherwise, there's something about that person. Animals just know. And as I say, we have that ability as well. We've just forgotten it.
Mm.
And I think because of what is happening, and change, and it is a new time in the world. Yes, it is. People that are aware, some are more aware than others. It's about a vibration, and
Mm.
it's bringing up your vibration. And some people have a lower vibration than others. Now I say, you've heard, many people have heard the expression, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And it's true.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, me too. And it's so true. Always go with your intuition. And trust in the process. Trust. Sometimes we want to know this. Human beings, we want to know this. We want to know that. We want to know what's going to happen. We don't. And especially what's going on in the world at this stage. I'm not
Mm.
going to get into politics and stuff and everything, all of that, obviously. But we have to come from love. You have to send a whole situation love.
Mm.
You think, oh, how can I do that? So people say, I can't do anything. What I do is nothing. But then I say this, I say, out of 1 grain of sand becomes 2 grains of sand, becomes 3 grains of sand, becomes four, and more,
And more. Yeah.
and more. And that's how change happens. Being aware and saying, I can't do anything. What can I do? I'm only nothing. No, you're not. You're something. This is who you are. You've been given a gift. All of us have. Whether we use that gift or not is our choice.
Mm.
So it's change. That's how change happens. That is how change happens.
Um, because the divine exchange is also, I'm zeroed in, focused on spiritual connection,
Yeah.
which I'm going to link in with what you've just said about intuition, especially as I've had a conversation very recently with a girl in her 30s, but she was talking about when she was 3 and
Mm.
abused. And it came from a conversation from nowhere. So I was obviously the person that was put in front of her to talk about it at that moment, on a street, because that's when things can unlock and unfold.
Right.
But my point is, she knew, she had that intuition. But you've got the adults, us, we're
Yeah.
the adults now,
Yeah.
saying, oh, don't be so silly, be polite, or something like that. It's
Yeah.
like, no, actually, why don't we just actually take a little bit of a moment and go, have they got a point here? Is there something in it? Because if we keep getting polished into the perfect little child or whatever it is people think, that's no way to grow up and expand,
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
isn't it?
Yeah, because we're not perfect. Human beings are not perfect. There isn't perfection. We're who we are. It's like watering a flower, watering a plant, sowing a seed. I'd say this actually, I would say the most important thing is like when you see a tree, for example, what do? You see the trunk of the tree. That's the most important. You see that visually. That's solid. Then you see the branches, then you see the leaves. Leaves fall, branches fall. You still see the trunk. But the most important thing is not the trunk, it's actually the roots of the tree. So we're asked to put down our own roots for ourselves and not be conditioned to the old conditioning, the old mindset of what we all grew up with. Everybody, doesn't matter, from eons of time. So it's putting down your own roots, thinking for you, questioning, thinking outside the box, the conditioned box, if you like, of
Mm.
conditioning, and to awaken to who you really are meant to be, which is your true self. What is true self? Who the essence of who you are. For example, it's like being an understudy off stage. You're looking at yourself center stage, and it's like it seems real. You put on the cloak, the clothes of who you are in this life, but that's not who you are. That's your identity, which we've got it, which you've chosen for this life's journey. That's not who you are. So who you are is true self. That's the soul. It's the essence of you, and that's what this is about. The essence of who you really are.
Mm.
Yes, we have to live in the world. We're here and we're here. All of us are born at this time, around this time of great transition and transformation of what is going on, are here for a reason, even though we don't know it. And everybody has different ways and how we are doing things. And it's not saying my way is better than yours is better than mine. That's ego talking. We all do our little bit. We are all a grain of sand, doing our little bit in whatever feels right. And I
Mm.
always say, when in doubt, leave it out. When in doubt, leave it out. So whatever feels right for you, whatever you're guided to do, go with your inner doggy instinct and go with that.
Mm.
You have to come from love. Everything has to come from love, not the conditioned mind and the ego. Because the ego doesn't want you to stop. The ego says, you've always been like that. That's how you've always been. We go, okay, because that's what we know. So it's thinking outside all of that.
So, also, what I wanted to ask you, which I'm going to come off the back of there, is if and especially for me, because it's very poignant as I've just lost Summer, my dog, to
Mm.
a tumor. Is you've mentioned fear and love. Well, it strikes me that although a dog, especially who's been flown across from Cyprus to be rescued, which
Yeah.
three of my dogs have in the past,
Right.
or they've been treated cruelly, and so
Right.
they have felt fear, they have
Yeah.
felt frightened, and yet there they are trusting in another human to give them love,
Yeah.
and yet I mean it just is so humbling that they will be there to accept that after that what has been what
Yeah.
cards be dealt them.
Yeah.
And do they recognize it as love? How do they feel it?
They're not mental minding it like rethinking, like, is analyzing and paralyzing, as I call it. For all of
That's
us,
a good one. I'm going to borrow that one.
you can borrow that one, no problem. Analyzing and I've got lots of sayings. Sayings are the great, whatever. Anyway, so no, basically, dogs especially are very trusting, more than maybe say cats. Cats, as we know, cats are a bit more independent, a bit more, oh, I'm not sure yet. Dogs are still trusting. They've been through a terrible abuse and they'll still wag a tail. It's like, what? Would you think you would do that? Would you wag your tail if you've been abused? Consciously, if we had a tail, I mean, if we had a tail, that's my tail. No. No, we wouldn't, because we wouldn't. But animals do, because they're not, as I say, they're not mentally thinking it, but they have the same feelings. All animals have the same feelings as we as humans do. Emotions, not, emotions. They feel fear, happiness, sadness. I mean, everything that we feel, animals feel. People like to think that, we're above animals. Well, we're not actually. We're truly not. And animals that come into our lives mirror us. There's no coincidence. They all, and you know this, Karen, they come into our lives and they mirror us. They mirror us. They come in to help us. And the other reason animals are not, I say our pets, I'll say in that sense, it doesn't matter, it's a horse, it doesn't matter what, you know, they come into our lives to help us, but by the same token, they're not here very long, generally. Well, dogs and cats aren't anyway, generally speaking, because they get it, they know it. It's human beings. We have to be here for a long, long time because we don't get it. Basically, bottom line, we don't get it.
Yeah.
Animals do. And they mirror us and they pick up our feelings, our emotions, and they pick up, and sometimes they manifest illnesses. They manifest illnesses, which they pick up from you or other things or to show you. There are guides. They're not saying they are a guide, but they are guides of a sense. We all have guides anyway, spiritual guides. Everyone has guides. But animals come in to help us. And there's no coincidence. And when we transition from our physical body, they will be there over the rainbow bridge, if you want to say the rainbow bridge, which I think is beautiful actually. But the animals are in the world of spirit. They're in the world of spirit. It's not a geographic place there. It's all around and they are there. And it's like when we think of them, they come to us and they sometimes they manifest and they come through us. We dream of them, we think of them, things
Well,
like
funny enough, it was Marnie, the white collie, with you saying that with his passing, it was like, what am I on this earth for? I
yeah,
need to do something of
yeah,
value
yeah,
because it's in me and it's never come out of
yeah,
me. And I love the fact that you said you look on stage and you see the dress rehearsal, or even you're in the wrong role. You're
yeah,
in the bloody wrong role. Wrong clothes, wrong place, wrong time. But you can recognize it. And in that moment, when Marnie had passed, I really did, something changed in me. And that's when actually Sacred Bond was born, because I came out of the closet and it was just like, I want to help people with spiritual connection.
yeah,
That's why they come. I'm going to be a tiny bit very specific here, and I hope you don't mind, but it is with regard to my dog Summer, because
right,
you you said something in that piece which was about, yes, they're here to teach us a lesson and mirror us. And I am in shock and I'm still in disbelief, even
right,
though I've seen an MRI scan and seen the tumor on the spine and some more growth. I don't get it. She was 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day old. It doesn't compute. And I don't know how it happened. And what I get from the blessing of her being with me, because the charity actually asked me to take her with Freya, is that she introduced me to all these new people in this new village that I live in. And I mean, everyone's come up to me and said, I'm so sorry about Summer. And I'm going, who are you? Who are you? You know, she was so
Yeah.
well known and she's only been here a couple of months. So is there any way you could give me a little bit of shedding of light there?
Yes. Same thing. People come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, as do our animals, our pets. You know, we are their guardians, basically. We don't own them at all. I say, you know, we're not owners of them at all. Same with kids. But anyway, that's another story. But, you know, really, sometimes, you know, why did this happen? Why did the tuna happen? She wasn't this, she wasn't that, all the rest of it. But she came in to show you an extra level of compassion. You have a lot of compassion anyway, and I know that anyway about you. But it's more than that. She came to put you into a different direction. She was known, you were known where you moved to, and with her and everything and all the rest of it. Her job was done. I know it seems like black and white. How can you mentally mind think as a human being someone's job is done? It's the same as young children, you know, babies that sometimes they're born and they're not around for very long. You're looking at the soul level because all animals have souls. All animals, as do humans, we all have a soul. And that soul's journey was to help. And even the lives that they the led the, you know, the horrific lives of some of these animals, you know, with abuse and everything in different countries. It happens here as well, in England and the States, everywhere. It's not just over there, it's everywhere, basically.
Mm.
You know. So it's basically her job. She had a specific job, a role, if you like. Not a job, I don't say a job, her role. And her role was done. She wasn't meant to be with you for a long length of time, but she helped move you on to a different level of your journey, of your own journey. Do you see that? Not quite. Open-minded.
Well, the thing I get from what you've just said actually is rather than trying to work it through, I'm just got the vision of when we were with her at the end, and
Yeah,
I was with my sons.
yeah,
You know, they got there in
yeah,
time, and Fitzpatrick's gave us all the time in the world.
yeah,
Um, and my sons brought their girlfriends, so
right.
there was so much love in the room,
Yeah,
so many tears,
yeah.
so much understanding. And in fact, a lot of tears that were shed in that room
For other things.
weren't necessarily for Summer.
Yeah,
She'd opened the floodgates,
yeah,
and I mean, all of us had tears, and even the vet who
yeah.
came in, you know, and kept checking on us. So in a way,
I know.
that's from everything you've said, I get that
Yeah,
wonderful, amazing opportunity to cry for grief that possibly hasn't even been voiced by the individuals that were crying those tears.
yeah. Because tears are a release, as we know, and it's about compassion. You have to have compassion for yourself before you can have compassion for anyone else in life. And that's what people they don't realize that. You have to have compassion and love for yourself, to like yourself, because this is who you are in this life. It's not saying, oh, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. No, not that kind of, you know, I love myself ego. No, not that. You know, it's about love and compassion. And even with the vet crying, that happened with my situation too, with my dogs, because the vet knew them. She was crying too, which is in the book. But that's the whole thing. It opens up the floodgates to other things.
Mm.
And it's having the sorrow, but through the sorrow of the sadness comes love, comes joy and happiness, not at that moment. Obviously, it's later on, and the realization of what our animals do for us and the connection that we have and the bond, the sacred bond, which, as you say,
Mhm.
sacred bond. And those are the words, sacred bond. That says it all.
Mm.
And to move forward and to help you move forward in your journey and where you are at this moment in time, Karen.
Mm.
You know, not the outside image of whatever is the essence of who you are and what you're wanting to do. And you're living out what you truly, what your soul wants to do, is meant to be doing, as opposed to just doing other things. We've all done things in the past because that's who we were then.
Mm.
We can't regret none of us can regret who we were then. We did what we did at that time because that's who we were then. This is who you are now. And the now moment, if you miss the now moment, you won't get into what the future is. You can have an idea of what the future is. And at the moment, the world is so, as people have seen worldwide, no one knows what future is. So you have to live in the moment.
Mm.
You have to live in the moment to see what the future will be, and you have to trust and love. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah, I thank you for everything that you've just said. And I just want to say that I haven't heard the word sorrow.
Mm,
I don't know when I last heard that word. And yet when you just said it then,
yeah.
that was like, whoa. Because sad doesn't even touch it.
No, it doesn't. Sorrow,
Sorrow.
sorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a sorrow. And in the sorrow, there is the blessing. I always say, whatever hard lesson that you feel you've been chucked at you, and that
Yeah.
there is a blessing in it.
Absolutely.
And I will honor Summer when I'm ready to share her. But for the moment, it's still very much,
Oh, it's raw.
yeah. But she did, I can't tell you, honestly, moving to a new area and then
Yeah. I
because she
miss
looked like a tiger, by the way. She looked like a tiger,
it.
just to give everyone a visual. Yes,
Yeah.
and she grew very, 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 very quickly into a huge dog. So that was another thing. She grew quickly. Perhaps that was
Yeah.
part of it. But everybody came over to talk to her. So they talked to me. And then I love talking to people.
Yeah.
So, whether they were kids or I had
Yeah.
every generation. She bought me every generation in the village.
Yeah.
And every generation still come and chat to me and my other lovely dog, Freya, and ask about her. So, yeah, she does feel like a gateway to.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm going to take compassion from you, please, as her
Yeah.
gift.
Yes, it's compassion.
Self-compassion.
And I want to share this with you. It's coming through me now. Is the word is stepping stone.
Right.
That's coming through me now as you're talking, stepping stone. It's a stepping stone for you with your journey. And you connected with all these other people. So you like talking anyway, which is great. That's who you are. That's naturally who you are anyway, which is you're a connector. You are. I mean, it's beautiful, you know. And but through that, you touched through that she actually and you, but she through being a dog, four legs and a tail, connected with everybody from different ages. And that's what we're missing in the
Ah,
world is connection.
yes.
And bringing it on, moving to you obviously, and I know what that's like, moving to a new country, new village, new town. When you move, what are the things worse in life? We three things: death, divorce, and moving. On everything in life, there's three main things. So however we move, moving's traumatic wherever it is. Doesn't matter whether you want to move, you don't want to move. It's still you have to go through the process of it. It's an upheaval. And she brought everything together. She brought you all together and different age. And I love what you said, different ages, because
Mm,
that's what it is. It's not just this age or that age. It's people, it's connection, and it's soul. And
mm.
that's what we need around us. That's what we need, the right people, the right connection at this time in life, at this time in the world as well. We need the right energetic vibration around us. As I say, when in doubt, leave it out. But some people you have to give a wide berth to. There are some people's energies. You have to go with who's coming into your energy field now and how can you help people? How can we all help?
And also to expand your vibrations. So like you
Absolutely.
both glow bigger and
Oh,
better and huger
yeah.
together. And
Yeah.
as you were talking there and said stepping stone, I have to say it's an expression that I've been using a lot.
Oh,
So
really
yeah.
funny.
And it took me straight to the river because I live beside the river.
Yeah.
And actually, I would like to probably edit a lovely little video of Summer, who, as I say, looked like a chubby big tiger. And she was walking along the water's edge. There's a sort of a cement bit underneath. So it looks like she was walking on water with the
Oh, I
sun
love it.
coming across. But
Oh,
this is the special bit.
yeah.
A swan came swimming over, and everybody else is going, "Oh my God, watch out for the swan."
Yeah.
And I'm going, does it look like there's danger? No. Does it feel like there's danger? No.
No. Yeah.
And Summer looks, Swan looks, and then they set off together. And I've got a rear view of them walking, paddling, because the swan was swimming. And as the swan went to the right, she went to the left. Then they came back together again. And they walked down this path like that in the water and on earth. And I knew I was witnessing something special,
Yeah.
but I didn't know what it was.
To share this with you now, it's coming through me. There is no divide. There is only love.
No divide.
There is only love.
Yeah.
And even though one goes this way, one goes that way, you have certain images of what you think somebody is.
Mm.
It's not. It's the truth of what the truth is.
But the point of this is, with the recent news of the panda that died, the mother panda that died with the baby panda, Roxy and Ginger, I believe they were called, in Edinburgh Zoo recently, that it has taken that to finally get a petition together about fireworks.
Yeah.
So off the back of fear, because, you know, can you explain that fear, that fright, how it manifests in the dog's body? Because it's not us just then going, no, calm down, you'll be all right. Is there anything that us as owners can do to help? Because these fireworks last for more than a day. They can last for 2 weeks. They can be all year round sometimes, if you know what I mean, for birthday parties and stuff. What's
No,
your
no.
take on that?
Basically, I mean, it's like anything. What do we do when we feel fear? We tense up. The body tenses up, the nervous system. And I work with animals that have been abused. I work with animals special and have behavioral issues. That's what I specialize in.
Mm.
And if there's things like fireworks, whether it's Guy Fawkes or whether it's, in the States, wherever it is, it doesn't matter. The whole concept of it, you can try and obviously, hold your dog or your cat, hold them, hold on to them for dear life, not for dear life in that sense, but hold them really tightly. Because then they will start to relax. They will start to relax.
How does that work? Does that remind them they're in the womb or something? Because I've
No,
heard of thunder blankets when you can put a thunder blanket on, which
no, I've heard of that. I know I've
is
seen all that. I
heavy,
saw that in the States, Thunder
and the
Blanket
racehorses have it
and
in
all
the
of that.
starting gates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know all that. And also, so they do it for animals, for dogs as well. But the best thing, because my dogs, especially Cosmo, she used to be scared of thunder. Thunder, literally, let alone fireworks and stuff, but thunder.
Mm.
And this was in Atlanta. And basically, I would just hold her. I would hold her tight. Bogey was okay, but Cosmo wasn't. Hold them. That's the best thing. Having a thunder jacket, a thunder this. Obviously, you might not be near a horse that you can go and cuddle the horse. I don't accept that, obviously. But if you have a dog or a cat or something like, hold them. That is the best thing. What do you do when you comfort a child if a child's freaked out? You hold them, you comfort them. It's the same thing. It's that touch, that human touch, that caring, that love, that pure love that says you're safe. Even though they got the sounds and everything, they're like still like that for a bit, yes.
Mm.
But they're still like that safe. They're still that safe. There's a safety net, a safety blanket, but coming from your heart to their heart. And
Mm.
that's really what it is. It's that.
Yeah. There's so many things that went through my mind then and also my heart because I can't help but then cross over to humans. And you said, to be held,
Yeah.
you know, to get that hug. It's just a three-letter word, but
Yeah.
a hug is a hold, and a
Yeah.
hold equals safety. And to feel safe in this world,
Yeah.
especially at this time,
Yeah.
even in individual households, that is a gift that I have been given recently. That it's to feel that safety. And possibly that's also what summer came to teach me,
Yeah.
I believe.
It's like your inner child. What does a child want to be held? We all have an inner child. So it's
Mm.
hugging you're hugging your own inner child because we forget ourselves. We work with others. We need to hug ourselves. And it's that spiritual hug.
Mm.
Princess Diana, who I loved actually. But anyway, I loved her
Yeah.
and always will. Anyway, but she used to hug people. If you look at what she did, she always hugged. She connected with people. And
Mm.
that's what it is. When I meet people, I not because I'm Princess Diana, because I'm not. I'm me, Philippa. But I like to hug somebody. I ask some people ask, is it okay if I hug you? I don't just go up to people and say, hey, I want to give you a hug. No. It's it's connection, and everyone's sort of scared what and how. And when you say, "Can I give you a hug?" We just want to be held, and it actually is our inner child. It's feeling safe.
And what I love is when I hug someone, especially youngsters, actually, when I say youngsters, I mean, late teenagers, that type of that as they collapse into your hug, because you're making it so safe for them, you can feel
Yeah.
everything. And sometimes they're trying to hide, and in that hug, they can't. And then they just, as you said, with the surrender, you feel the sigh. And
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, I quite like that. I'll do that again. And then next time you meet them, they just come running up and the hug's a natural thing. I mean, hug is healing, isn't it? Hugging is healing.
I've done that with teenage people as well. People, I mean, teenage guys or whatever it is. I'd ask them, I say, can I give you a hug? And they say yes. And then it's exactly as you say, afterwards, they're fine. They have that first hug and then let go because they're trying to be cool and this and that and they don't know and all the rest of it. Teenagers or whatever age, or 17, 18, it's not, they're not used to hugging and they're guys usually. Girls are more into hugging than guys. But
I
we
guess
all
that
need
might
to
be
be
true.
hugged, generally speaking. I mean.
Because I do feel in any situation, the hug at that point possibly is a little bit, are you invading that space and should it be? Is there any healing that you could just offer people who find this conversation that may have happened to them, as you say, in hospital, and they missed the opportunity? Is there anything you could give us now that might be a bit of a healing for those people?
I would say, and I'm a medium and I'm a trance medium. So I connect with people in the spirit world that are past. I also connect with animals in the spirit world as well, if somebody wants healing for that, because it's an emotional earthquake when you lose a beloved pet. But looking at the situation of grief and grieving, and those that aren't with somebody or didn't get a chance to say goodbye in person or weren't allowed to touch, people in the spirit world, they're not judging us or judging whatever. That's what was at that time. You send out your love, you send your love, and they hear you talk to them. You can talk out loud, you can mention their name, you can have a look at the picture, get a picture of whoever it is that you know has passed. Talk to the picture, they hear you, they'll come through you. They'll come through, you'll feel it anyway. Sometimes you can go and see a medium, obviously, if you want to do it that way. But for yourself, you can connect. The connection is between you, and you can do it through the picture. It's very easy. Or you can write a letter,
Mm.
because that's cathartic. You can write, and you're writing out your soul, your heart, and what you feel, and the upset, and the hurt, and the pain. They don't judge us. This was what was at that time. And other people, as I say, generally speaking, you can do this, whatever the situation is. You can literally have your heart, you send your love from your heart to theirs because it's love. It's as simple as that.
Mhm.
It's like if you're with somebody that's in a situation, somebody's very difficult, and on this life I'm talking about now, somebody who's very difficult, you send them and the situation love. You might think, oh, I wouldn't want to do that. But that love accumulates. You don't have to sit there for 10 minutes and do it. It's just like a few seconds. It's the intention behind everything. When you intend from love and you come from purity and you really that, you're not mental minding anything. You
Mm.
send that, and that is everything. That is everything.
Mm.
So, when somebody's passed anyway, what do people want to know? They want to know that their beloved person in the spirit world is safe. Are they okay? Yes, they are. They don't have the same hassles and sagas and trauma in life that we have living on this earth. We are the ones that are grieving. They're not actually grieving. They grieve because they see us grieving, because they're released from everything. They're released. They don't have to job, work, eating food, everything. But, they've gone on to the next level, the next stage. And the whole lesson out of this to get messages is basically about love. It's as simple as that. It goes back to that. They grieve, they are sad seeing us grieve because that's what we do as human beings. We grieve, which is a process.
Mm.
And it is, as I say, it's an emotional earthquake, as I call it. I wrote about that. It's an emotional earthquake. It cracks open your heart. When you lose somebody, it cracks, whether it's four-legged furry or whether it's a human being, it cracks open your heart and it opens.
I think that's what hasn't happened with me and Summer. It's
Yet.
just an odd connection because it was so brief. It was months. I didn't have her for years. And
Is it?
yet it does seem a different form of lesson in this compassion. And I've got great comfort with you saying there's no judgment, because obviously that's what I have been eaten up with. It's like, should I have left that particular different hospital with the paracetamol? And I said, I think there's more of a problem than this. And they went, no, you'll be fine. And I didn't fight for her there and then in that moment. I just went, "Oh, well, I'm in a hospital," and I went. So, yes, I'm battering myself about that. And then I put her in the best place I could and had help with her old vet who stepped up and said, I'll
Yeah.
come and help.
How beautiful is that?
That, I mean, yeah, amazing angel, Jill. Yeah, just amazing. And then unfortunately things went wrong uh, she lost a lot of blood and it wasn't nice for her. And again, the guilt, but I mean, so all I could do is do the kindest thing, which was bring as much love around her,
Yeah,
got her all calm for hours, and she actually fell asleep with us naturally
yeah.
before it was medically administered. Yeah. So,
But it's also about you forgiving yourself. This is what this is. This is about you and your journey now.
yeah, I can't do that one yet.
But yeah, I'm sharing this with you. You know, this is
Yeah.
what it's letting you're still attached, the attachment of it, and it's all new. And it's not a question of how much time, whether she was with you for years. It's quality, not quantity. She was meant to, she had her reason she came here was to help you open up to your next level and the next level of your journey and your path on a personal level and obviously on with what you're doing with Sacred Bond. So you're coming from a sacred heart with a sacred bond. I want to share with you. Okay.
Yeah.
So through all of that, you're literally, it's about forgiving yourself because we stay attached. I say it's the forgiveness, it's you forgiving you, not blaming yourself. You did what you couldn't do anymore. It was something on a higher level that played out this way. And the surrender with all of this, basically, is for you to surrender to love, love of yourself and love on a higher level. It's you beating yourself up. You couldn't do more than you did. And I know you enough. I know that. And I mean, whatever one does, we do what we do. And in the end, it's like when somebody's ready to pass away, there's nothing that we as human beings can do, not the doctors, not the this, because it's not up to them. It's not up to that.
No,
It's on a higher level. And we forget that. We
no.
forget that. It's like when we do healings for people. It's basically, I'm a catalyst, I do healing. Yes, it comes through me. But it's basically, is the soul touched? That's when the healing happens. Is the soul touched? It's as simple as that. The soul has to be touched for the healing to take place.
Well, I tell you what, they are the ultimate soul touchers, aren't they? Our animals and our pets.
Absolutely,
Yeah, definitely the soul touchers. I love it.
because they are pure unconditional love, unlike human beings. Human beings are not. They're
Okay,
not.
I've got that. Well, listen, Philippa, it's been great to talk to you, but I would be remiss to go without sharing you with the world because you're doing a special workshop this coming weekend. We're talking now because if people find us in the future, we're actually in the moment of November, the end of November, and you'll be doing a workshop on Stowe and the Wald. Would you just like to give us a little bit of a taster of what people can expect? And are there still a few spaces left?
Yep, there are a few spaces left. If people want to join, they can. It's at a beautiful place called Atelier 8. And basically, what I'm doing is 3 days. But if somebody just wants to come and do one day, they can do that. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday the 29th, Saturday the 30th, and December the 1st. So Friday is meet and greet. Hey, meet and greet me. And also, I'm doing a meditation, a vortex healing meditation, and with incorporated with angelic magic. I work a lot with the angelic realm all the time. Saturday is Saturday is talking about your spirit guides, who they are, what they are, and your own personal spirit guides. We all have guides.
Hmm.
And then the next one is and then I'm doing a trance mediumship channeling through me, basically, from my spirit guide. I do that quite a lot. So it's not me, Philippa, talking, it's what comes through me, basically. Trust in the process of life is what it's called. What
That all sounds very exciting, but I just desperate to do. So do you have one guide or does that guide change through your life?
No, you have everybody, whether they believe in guides or not. We have one main guide from when we're born until we transition from our physical body.
Oh, right.
Then, during that time, there are other guides that come in. There are healing guides, there are wisdom guides that come in and out, in and out. Not every day, not like that. It's not like, hi, I'm here. No, it's not like that. You know, depends on what situations. You have to have humor in life as well.
Oh, where would we be without humor?
Oh my God, yeah, tell me about it. I know. Shock horror otherwise, yeah. Need humor. So basically, those are our guides. We connect with our guides and we can ask our guides for help. We're not being told what to do, but shown because human beings have free will. You're either going to do this or that, because otherwise, you're giving your energy and same with the angelic realm. We can talk to the archangels. They're there to help humanity. That is actually what they do.
So
Our
can I ask a question? This is, but it's interesting because somebody else would be probably sitting there going, "Go on, ask her." I would. Can your spirit guide talk to my spirit guide? Do they know each other? Or are they the same person?
No,
Oh,
no, 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 no. When I connect with people, when I do, connect with people, I get into a zone, or if it's not like now, this minute, I get into a zone. And if it's a healing or it's something we want to know or whatever the situation is, I get into a zone and I connect with my spirit guide to talk to your spirit guide.
so they can converse, they can
Yeah,
swap
yeah.
notes.
It's not talking as in, hey, well, how's this one? How's that one? I mean, that's like, how's she doing? How's she doing? Well, I don't know, they're a bit off the wall, but whatever. Um, Basically, there are certain healings that take place through that. I did that actually on Sunday with somebody, with a client, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes I start singing. I sing.
Oh,
I'm channeled. It's quite amazing what's been happening with what I do as well. It's
mm,
just high, it comes through me. Anyway. And so the other thing to get back to, I tell you, and then the other thing I'm doing is a talk about vortex healing, and I'm doing private vortex healing sessions for people as well. So split up over
fantastic.
3 days, basically.
And that's at Stowe in the Wold.
That's still on the world, but I'll do that, anywhere. I just came
Oh,
back. I just came back from Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I was there for a week, and I was doing all of that there, which was beautiful. It was amazing.
oh, so hence all the colors you're wearing. She's, fresh in from Mexico.
No, no, it's the States. It's New Mexico. It's
Oh,
USA.
New Mexico. Listen, I'm hopeless at
Santa Fe,
geography.
New Mexico. It's the USA.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. It's the desert. It's amazing. Amazing mountains. There's a lot of healers live there. It's the most beautiful energy in Santa Fe. I
Well,
love it. Never
talking of energy, or as you've been talking throughout this interview, or not interview, it's a conversation, isn't it? It's a divine exchange,
Design exchange. Yeah,
divinely planned.
yeah.
We just didn't know we were going to be doing this a few days ago, but
I
it just
know.
felt right. So thank you for saying yes. But I just want to say that your aura has been electric and changing throughout. And I think you'll find that people will have seen that and you will when you watch it back. So what I want to say, Philippa, is thank you so much for coming and sharing your time with us. And the insight into your world that you can bring to our world that will help us. I think it was let go of those attachments because that's something that's begun to not disintegrate but melt away from me over the death of Summer.
Yeah.
Just talking to you and hearing what you have to say.
I want to say one other thing, that life is love, caring, and sharing. And I wrote that on my book, on the front cover of my book, which is Rising Above Grief for People and Pets.
Mm.
I wrote, life is love, caring, and sharing. And I believe that and I know that. So you have to come from love on every level. Love for yourself. You have to have love for yourself. To like yourself, you have to love yourself and care and share. Sharing, love, caring, and sharing. That's
Okay. So what I will say also that we will leave all the links below to your workshop, to your wonderful book, to the Vortex Healing. And also I personally am going to ask and call people to action on finding this petition. We're going to put the link in the bottom to signing it for, stopping unnecessary fireworks because we don't want to spread fear for our animals, our pets, children. We want to stop this from happening. And as Philippa, you have so rightly said, it's all about love, not fear. So let's just hold hands and do this. And if you're thinking of rescuing a dog, a pet, a cat, please, if you've got the time, they've got the love for you and you'll never look back, will they?
exactly. Just pure love and a bond, literally. A
Yeah.
bond, a sacred bond. And that's what it is. It's as simple as that. A sacred bond that can never be broken.
Yeah.
And even if one of them's and they're in the spirit world, that bond is always there. And when you transition, you will see them again and they will come to you. They come to you.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
on that wonderful sentiment, and I thank you so much for that, Philippa. I can't wait till next time and have a fantastic workshop weekend. If I can wangle coming on the Saturday, I'm going to so be there. Thank you for today. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being you, bringing your wonderfulness. And on that, we're going to love you for now until we meet again.
I want to say one thing. I send you much love and much love and light to everybody as well. From my heart to yours.
Yeah,
Thank you, Karen. It was beautiful.
thank you. Namaste. Well, what a joy. The Divine Exchange this week had the most fabulous guest in Philippa Kingsley, who just shared her joy, her pure joy. And we discussed love, loss, grief, and sorrow. And yet, here I am sitting here feeling very uplifted, and full of hope that there is so much out there for us to know that we are blessed, and to have gifted animal channelers and healers like Philippa in the world to remind us that we don't lose our pets. You know, they might just leave this planet, but they are always with us and can always be connected with. And for me, having just lost my beautiful dog, Summer, you know what? I'm going to take from this that she's still on walks with us, with my other dog. And she came here, and I'm so grateful she did, however short a time she was with us. So, you know, just catch Philippa's conversation. It is so uplifting, and it's full of healing. It really is. Yeah, I feel a different person just after our chat. So I hope you do too. And yeah, I look forward to another divine exchange soon. God bless you all.